Everything we touch has a texture to it. Some we may not think about. How much light does it absorb? Can it repel water? Will it dampen sound? What can a texture improve? What function does it serve?
Imagine your hands as your grip in a steering wheel. How that wheel almost grips back. As you reach down for the radio knob, you feel that groove. All these moments brought to the driver by the very texture on those components. But texture's more than just feel. It can be functional as well. Visually, the texture is very appealing, but it also serves a very critical purpose. It wouldn't be very good to have light reflecting directly into the driver's eyes. That'd present safety issues. What the texture's doing and has been designed to do is to help diffract and reflect light in different directions to help protect the driver's vision to be able to safely drive. These components will often get scratched, get marred. So we'll design textures and apply them to these vehicles to prevent scratch, to prevent the wear. So it's a very critical role that texture's playing in the vehicle, in the driver's experience. It really just sums up to a vehicle without texture is just one without impression.
The texture design industry is broad, from the textures in the vehicles we drive that have been designed to reduce glare, to textures that strengthen the packaging our food is delivered in, to sourcing more sustainable materials.
So we use texture to make it easier to recycle parts at the end of their life. So for example, if you think about an automotive part, often after it's produced, it will need to be painted. Just think about the environmental impact of not having to paint parts. That in and of itself would be absolutely tremendous. But then on top of that, once that part is done with its useful life, a far greater percentage of that part can be recycled into a new plastic part. But to be able to do that, we need to work on developing some really unique and novel textures, both aesthetically and functionally, and we're working on that today.
As manufacturing has evolved, they've been able to take multiple pieces that would be a typical assembly and design parts that are a single part with all those features combined. The issue with this, though, is some of those features now that are hidden in the back of the part will show through on the front of the part. With texture, we've been able to effectively camouflage those flaws in the manufacturing process, so now manufacturers are able to condense down to the singular parts. There's also the issues of, in assembly, you have plastic on plastic. Those parts will be moving, it'll squeak, it'll rattle. We'll be using fabric, adhesive, at that point of contact to limit that noise. What texture can do is if we selectively texture those areas, we can now limit the points of contact, helping to eliminate the squeak and rattle, but also from a sustainability aspect, remove that fabric, remove the adhesive from the manufacturing process. Overall, it's just quite a few opportunities to really offer sustainability and options to our customers.
Textures enhance our everyday lives and alter our interactions, often crafted and designed with specific intention. For Standex Engraving Mold-Tech, a thoughtfully crafted texture can be developed from the initial design inspiration through to engraving and then preparing the tool for final manufacturing for thousands of applications.
I think the data is very clear. When supply partners get involved early in the design concept or the manufacturing of a particular part, they're more likely to have a better outcome. We will effectively take the customer's vision for their design and create an electronic rendering or model of that texture that we believe brings it to life. From there, we are able to create a real-world sample of that texture, and we use a process that we call RTP. It's a pretty unique and amazing process because it allows us to create a sample in a matter of days, and that's important to our customers because often they will want to slightly change the design for a number of different reasons, and we are able to very quickly tweak and create new samples of that design. We then take that verified sample and texture and we're able to engrave that on the tool that's going to be used to actually make the part. So we will use a number of different technologies, laser engraving, chemical engraving, hybrid engraving, to engrave that tool to allow them to make successful parts.
Using our rapid texture prototype equipment, our architecture team can develop a texture, quickly print samples, and bring it to a reality. From there, it's a quick transition from architecture to laser. But additionally, laser is a digital process. We're using CAD to program the lasers. As a result, what we're seeing is our customers using traditional textures with very specific layouts, using a stipple in those kind of layouts to create these very visual effects that are very appealing. Textures are just a limitation of our imagination at this point.
As a global leader in texture designing, Standex Engraving Mold-Tech makes it easy to get to final production. Standex partners with designers and OEMs to design, verify, engrave, and prepare tools for manufacturing.
The Manta project is basically the art of the possible, a tool to help guide them and show them what was possible in the texturing industry. We chose the manta ray shape because that's all what designers are looking for. It's not just about the colors and the textures, it's the geometry look, the morphing of the texture that we put on there to be something different, and that was why the manta was chosen. It was just something that looked like it was moving even though it was sitting still. It just shows the capability of what we're able to do.
This was a way for us to help bring to life exactly what our designers are capable of doing. But it was a way for them to see some of the unique and innovative ideas that we had around geometric shapes and patterns and forms of texture that showed our unique capability. So at Standex Engraving, what we're trying to be is the global partner for our customers that allows us to be the most innovative surface solution provider in the market today.
To learn more, contact us today.